for Men Live. I am 𝗬𝗂𝘁𝘂𝗁. I'm so glad you're joining me for a continual connection. Just you and me, two men, and all the other men, putting fitness, making it a higher priority, taking it to the next level, probably looking better than most men your age, but that's not good enough for you. You want to take it to that higher level. That's what I'm here for, with simple and effective strategies, not a lot of excess. Right? You don't have the time, the energy, or the willpower for all that. What you need to do, what price you need to pay, be very clear, very confident about what you have to do, and then execute that. Be consistent with that. That's all it takes to have the body that you want at this age. Sounds so simple, doesn't it? It is simple when you understand what it is that you need to do. I'm going to talk about training. I'm going to say workouts for older men. That's what I need. What's the right workout for an older man? Hey, that's me. Right? And they come here. But I can tell you this, almost every single training strategy will work if you know the organizing principles to make workouts work. Then it's just really what you prefer. More volume, more exercises, training longer, training more days a week. If that's what you like, then you can make that work, right? If you don't have that time, but you still want to get the most productivity, just as much as maybe you did when you trained for 6 days, 2 hours a day. You can do that if you know the organizing principles working out. The magic is not in the workout. So if you think there's a magic workout for you and this one for your blood type, your body type, your age, all right, it's more like what your preferences are, what you're wired, what you can do in a sustainable manner. And then learning how to maximize every set, training with intensity. A lot of men, they think, oh, I'd work out hard. And you probably are. But in this video, I want to talk about just the progression of the organizing principles that I'm telling you. It doesn't matter if you're 55, 65, 45, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if you've been training for 5 months, 5 years. Some man at 15 years don't understand what I'm going to talk about in this video. But here's the thing is, I'm not going to say it's black or white. You either train this way, you either understand those things, or you're not going to get anything, any gains at all. I'm not going to say that, because there may be an optimal way, but if you're consistent, you're lifting the weights, you're overloading, all right, you may not know exactly how to maximize everything, but it isn't like you're not going to get any results. There's a lot of men in the gym. They look pretty darn good, and they're consistent. They've been doing it for a few years. And they don't understand certain things. So let me talk about it. Really starts with, what's the purpose of every set? What's the purpose of weight training? All right. You got to understand that intensity overload, progressive overload. What do I mean by that? All right. So let's just say you pick up a 20-pound dumbbell, whatever the exercise, it really doesn't matter. And that's what challenges you. And doesn't even matter the exercise, 20 pounds. And let's just say you get 8 reps at 20 pounds. All right. You're used to it. You're challenging. That's challenging for you. It creates that demand to initiate the muscle building process. The body is only going to grow muscle when the demand is there. So form, feel, and execution, those things are important, but it's overload. Why do I have to pick up this 20-pound dumbbell? And then how much did it tax me to get to 8 reps? All right. So the next set or not the next workout, right? You got to ask yourself for more. And maybe that might not happen for 2 or 3 weeks. Who knows? Maybe with that 20-pound dumbbell on that particular exercise, maybe you only get 7 instead of 8. Maybe you went a little backwards, but you're still pushing yourself. Maybe it may take 2 or 3 weeks from now, and now you're doing, 9 or 10 reps, because now you're used to it. You're pushing yourself, asking for more. Sometimes it may not be more reps. You're ready to go for a 25-pound dumbbell or a 30-pound dumbbell. It's that progression, making of it. You do 12 reps. That means 10, 11, 12. Getting the most out of a particular set. If you did 8 reps, all right, you can't use the same amount of weight that you got to 12 reps. So you use more, right? But it's 6, 7, 8 overload. That's how every set should be. Pushing yourself, progressive overload, having that mindset, and then building upon it every single workout, every couple works, demanding yourself. You'll be surprised how strong you get. A lot of men don't understand that. To make this work, it's just not about weights, it's just not about lifting weights. You got to have a rep range. You'd be surprised how many men, I don't count reps. I just kind of wing it while I pick up weight and then wing the reps. All right. Or they shoot for just 8 reps. And I go, okay, well, you picked up a 20-pound dumbbell, right? And you push yourself. And what if you had more inside of you? Maybe you were stronger. All right. Do you go to 9 or 10? They go, no, I stop at 8. And I go, okay. I said, well, what if the weight's challenging you and you feel like giving up? Okay, that's enough, and it's 6. And they tell me, no, I'll get that 6th one. I'll get that 7th one. And I'll die trying. Again, staying safe, of course. I'll get that 8th one. I go, that's awesome. All right. You push yourself. You demand yourself. You thought you couldn't do it. You push yourself mentally, and you saw what your body can do. You got to the 8th one. That's how every set needs to be. Every set needs to have that form of intensity, that overload, that challenge. Every single set. You got to just think of the one in front of you that you're doing. Doesn't matter of a great performance the last couple of sets or poor performance or something in between. Those don't matter anymore, and you don't pace yourself to get the rest of the workout. All that matters is that one set. It's a game in and of itself. It's a challenge. When that game's over, you put it behind you, and it's the next set. You stack every set. That's how you get the most muscle stimulation. That's how you initiate the muscle building process, and that's how you get the most at what you do, right? You need a rep range. You can't just shoot for a flat number, and it should be 3. It shouldn't be like, well, 5 to 10, too big of a range. 6, 7, or 8, 8, 9, or 10, 13, 14, 15, right? Because then the fulcrum is the weight, right? If you're going to do more reps than you do, you'll have to do less weight. If you do fewer reps, then that weight has to go up. And you don't know that when you pick up the weight, because every set should surprise you if you're pushing yourself, right? If you're coasting and you're just settling, right? Everyone's a game in itself, right? So you have to have that rep range. One thing is warming up. All right, let's just say you did 3 chest exercises. Let's just say flat bench press is your first exercise. All right. Well, you're not going to lift heavy. You're not going to challenge yourself. 1, 2, 3 sets, overload, challenge, 6, 7, 8. You're not going to do that for your chest on that bench press until you're thoroughly warmed up. You got to get thoroughly warmed up, take the process. But here's the thing is, once you're ready, and you've done 3 sets where you really challenge yourself, on the next exercise, the second exercise, the third exercise, the fourth, don't pyramid up, because anything less than progressive overload, you've done it before, it's not challenging. It's a wasted set. It's a junk set. Now, mentally, well, Skip, flat bench press is different than the dumbbell press. Yeah, mentally it's different, but your chest is warmed up. You already taxed it, right? Your body is ready. Maybe your mind is ready. Maybe you need to think about that different. Maybe you need to challenge yourself. But skip the pyramid sets. You don't need them, because overload is the only thing that stimulates growth. Everything else is wasted. So you go right to the challenge in that same mindset. All right. And that's how you get more done in less time. That's how every single set should be with this type of mindset. All right, rest between sets. See, we're in a mindset like, more is better, more is better. So faster in between sets. The purpose of weight training, it isn't to burn fat. It doesn't burn fat. I know you burn calories. It's done with your diet primarily. All right. Hurrying from set to set, you're not burning more calories. I know it seems that way, but in the big picture, it's not. All right. And I know you feel busy because you're hurrying from set. It feels more productive. But you got to be fully rested and recovered to overload it again. Right. And a lot of men, I'll tell you, well, I will just wait 30 seconds. Now, I know that sounds studly. It sounds like it's better. Right. And they don't want to waste time. I just concentrate. Boom. I do it again after 30 seconds. Well, I asked him, I go, have you ever, been distracted? Maybe you got a phone call, or maybe someone was on the machine or the bench that you wanted to use in the dumbbells. And instead of 30 seconds, boom, 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 in between sets like you do, you have to do 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, right? They go, well, yeah. Weren't you significantly stronger? Like you could have lifted more weight than if he wasn't in your way? Couldn't you have lifted probably 10 pounds more or 3 or 5 more reps? Well, yeah. Well, see, the purpose isn't to hurry, it's to overload the muscle. That's what weight training is for. So if you think you're hurrying, it's more productive. You're lifting less weight for less overload. Rest 2 or 3 minutes. Rest however long it takes to get close to 100% of your strength back without losing your form, feel, execution, tempo, concentration, your flow. All right. And for some exercises, really heavy legs, right? Or you got to load it up. It may be longer. It'll be on the 3-minute, right, range. Where, tricep push downs, it might be a minute and a half, right? But you want to wait because it's all about overload. That's how you make the most of every set. How about changing your workout routine? Even men who are just at the beginning of their journey, somewhere along it's been implanted, you must change your workout routine often. Now, for some people, that means every workout. Some means you change it every week, sometimes 4 weeks, and they take a lot of practice. I change my workout often, right? Why? Why is that? Because you got to confuse the muscle or it won't grow. Well, let me just tell you something. When you confuse, are you confused? What does that actually even mean? I know it sounds like it makes sense, right? Well, it won't adapt. You know what will prevent? You can use the same routine. You know what will prevent your body from adapting and continue to grow? Progressive overload. It's not the same exercise if you got a rep and a half more, 5 more pounds. That's not the same. That's like changing the routine. There's only so much muscle stimulation, all right, that you need. It's just hitting it from a different angle. You change the order of the routine, you change the day, right? You're going to confuse your mind. And that whole system, I did this last week and I built upon a progressive overload. You're going to jerk it all around because it's not comparable anymore, right? So you confused your mind more than your body. How to confuse the body? 1 more rep, 5 more pounds, progressive overload. That's what will prevent it from adapting. You don't need to change those routines. You actually become less productive, all right? The biggest thing through all this to get most out of workout is your expectations, right? How much muscle should I gain? How fast should I gain that muscle? What's a lot? What's a little? How do you know? With my weight training routine, how much body fat should I lose? In what time period? How quickly? How many pounds is that on the scale? If you don't understand those things, you have no shot. I say, well, guide says, well, I should have more of this. I do that. I go, well, why should you gain more muscle? Why do you think you're losing muscle, right? Why do you only think you lost that much weight? Or where are you getting this? Well, they're just pulling it out of their hopes. I should be more muscle, more pounds sooner. Well, where is that? If you don't have a real expectation, you should be doing everything right. But you think you're doing it wrong because you don't know what to expect. There's so many men, they got way too much body fat. They want to look ripped and lean and show the muscles and the separation. That's when you have this illusion of size. That's the absence of body fat. So if you think you're going to train your way to look that way, that's not going to happen. If you're, 6 foot, 190 pounds, you got some body fat, and you think, well, I need to lose 10 pounds of fat. I think I'm about 10. The truth of the matter is you're probably 20 pounds fat. Well, let's just say 10 pounds. But you think the thing is, well, I got to stay around 190 because I want to lose 10 pounds of fat and gain 10 pounds of muscle. If you don't know how ridiculous that ambitious goal, it's nice to have that. It's not going to happen on this human body. You may think it is, especially when you're older. It's going to take time, even when you're 25. And it's not working out that way. That's because it's not working out way for any human, regardless of what you think or what you hear. Those expectations are so important. So how do you get the most out of your training routine? Workouts for older men. Am I going to assign you a workout routine that's so specific to you based on your blood type, your height, your weight, how many years you've been training, your mother's maiden name, your favorite movie, right? Your blood type, whatever. No, that routine is based on what you can do in a sustainable manner, not just in your most ambitious state. 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. Is that sustainable? Right? Because if it's not, especially when the gains start leveling off, you say, man, I'm here for 2 hours, 6 days a week, and then the expectations are not working. Right? It starts with what you can do, and then how do you maximize it the way I'm talking about in your 4 days, 45 minutes, because it can be done. It can be done. So, got to know the purpose of every set. You got to understand maximum overload. You got to understand how to get the most out of every set, not just punch and check off the boxes. right? Make everyone count. You need a rep range, right? Warm up to overload the muscle, but don't keep on warming again. All those warm-ups, it's just overload. You got to skip to that. Be confident with it. Be safe, of course. All right. That's how you get more done in less time. All right. Repeating exercises or this or that. You just need to overload the muscle. Rest between sets, the ideal amount to what? Stimulate muscle, to overload muscle. That's what weight training's for, not to burn body fat, not to be necessarily athletic, right? Change the routine. How do you keep the body from adapting? Overload. 5 more pounds, 1 more rep. Oh, I can't adapt more than changing the routine and no longer having measurable standards, comparable standards to even track progressive overload. All right. And your expectations, how much, how soon, how fast, what's it supposed to look like? You don't get that. You have no shot. You have no shot. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to answer some questions here. You guys finding that helpful? Right. Hello, Pete. All right, let's see. Hello, James. Thanks for the words of wisdom, Skip. You're welcome, SB, or on YouTube. Hi, Skip. Does it matter? Let's see here. Does it matter where the pad lies on your back leg when you're doing lying leg curls? When you have a bone spur on your heel? Just play with that. Again, just concentrate on that leg, biceps, the hamstring, right? You're welcome, John. Hello, Guy. Great having you here, sir. Pete, awesome show, Skip. Thank you for this. You're welcome, right? Pete, you've been training in the gym for years, right? And I'm sure you got a lot of this, but how many guys who look great in the gym, they're consistent, and they're missing all of these? This is the next level. And when they get it, they gamify it. All right. All of a sudden, they're lifting all these weight, more productivity. But let me just say this. If you weren't to do all those things, you still look great. All right. And that body you see is that. But if you want to take it to the next level, you got to understand all these things. Charlie, hello. John, hello from Cleveland. Great to have you here, sir. Preach on, Skip. I will, Charlie. Robert says, awesome information. Thank you, Skip. You're welcome, Robert. Thank you for being here, sir. One of your best opening statements since I've been watching this. What's the best opening statement? What's my best opening statement? I want to say that again. Would you please, because, I've been living and breathing this. I say it over and over again with all the men, right? So I may take it for granted, something that really resonates. So I love that feedback. So I don't just say it again by happenstance. I've learned from your feedback how key that is. So I hope you're still on. James, tell me, James 𝗔𝗯cie, what's the best opening statement? What specifically resonated with you? I want to know more. You're welcome, Ken. Thank you for your advice. All right, guys. All right, so that's going to do it. Hey, you want some one-on-one attention? You want me to take you through a journey, push you, guide you, encourage you, give you objectivity and perspective. So when you know you're going down the right direction, you keep on keeping on, pouring it on. Or if you need to turn around and make those adjustments, with certainty, all right, you want to go on a journey. I have all of my information for my one-on-one coaching. I'm sure I got a program for you. All right, we'll talk about it. All right, it's in the description of this video. Reach out. I'd love to talk to you. All right, so that's going to do it for Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. Let's work out with that sense of urgency. Let's support it with the eating. It's so important with that sense of urgency. Let's love and connect with the people we care about most. Let's produce at the job. All right, let's live with that sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.